Right, welcome mechanics. In this, I hope, short video I will try to showcase you the museum curator, how to unlock it, how to access it, how to make some basic rooms, how to upload it on Steam Workshop, and how to basically manipulate and navigate through this editor, because we've seen from your comments on Steam and on Discord that there are some difficulties, and actually it's a very powerful tool indeed, so maybe some clarification is necessary, is needed. So before we go, make sure you have unlock it. So go to upgrade panel, scroll through all the business tiers and make sure you have unlocked custom museum at least on level 1. You can unlock it to 100. So yeah, let's now go to Tag Manager by pressing the radial. And yeah, you should see under custom museum that you have unlocked at least one room, which is museum area holder 1. I have only one, so I have a 1, and I already have some tanks here, but in the workshop I have Tiger E, so I'll just move it as well to some slots, just like that. And I have right now seven tanks here. So to go there, to go to the museum curator, to the scene, you have to go and click the Go To button. Right, so we are in the Museum Curator config right now. This is the first initial screen that you will see when you will launch the room, the museum room. So we have three options. We can continue, we can make new, and load room. So continue, for example, we have already started some rooms, some museum. You have some slots move around, you place some objects, some props. You can continue, or you can make a new one, which basically will remove everything from the scene and start with the scratch from the beginning with the basic with basic floors. Like for example, you can see right now on the top right, with player spawn, with the computers, everything will be on the default position. Or you can, for example, load room, which will basically load a save if you have already something on saved. Or for example, if you subscribe to something on the Steam Workshop, you will also see their rooms that can be loaded. So for now I will make a new one. As you can see, I have some tanks in the slots. It should be 7. Yeah, so there's 7 tanks. And let's go with some basic stuff from about the editor. So basically, manipulation of the editor is you need to press right mouse button to pan camera around while holding the right mouse button. You can click WASD to move camera around. You can also move the camera up and above by pressing Q or E. Everything while pressing the right mouse button. So this is like basic controls. Before we continue with the controls, I would like to maybe introduce you with the UI, with the interface a bit. So on the top left, we have some navigation and some tools available for you. The first three buttons are new, load, and save. So basically, when you press the new, it will just open the same Museum Curator config as you've seen on the beginning. So we will continue this time. You can also make a load. So for example, I already have some rooms saved, like Tiny Desk Museum from the workshop and from earlier iteration of this tutorial. So close now. You can also make a save. You can press. You can type your own name, for example, Museum Curator Tutorial 2. Hit the save button and it's saved. Okay, let's continue. I will place. Before we go with the other things, I will place some object from the content browser. Content browser is on the left side. It contains every museum props that is loaded in the game. As you can see, there's some main categories and subcategories which are configured. Each props have own configuration component, which determines the name of the main category and subcategory. So for example, all badges are under decorative. Just temporarily I will put some 2 objects on the scene and now. The first button arrow on the left is undo, button on the right is redo. So for example, if you did something to the prop, you like rotate it, move it, you can change it to previous state, or if you change your mind completely, you can do it again, like do that change. Next one is selection tool. Next one is move, rotate, scale, rect. There's a pivot mode and pivot rotation mode. And let me show you next elements of the UI, and I will show you also in practical what are these buttons actually doing in the scene. So you have the content browser. As you can see, this is all loaded props that I have already in the game. So to put something on the scene, you have to select it, and as you can see, it's attached to my cursor. When I click again left mouse button, it's set on the scene. On the top bar on the middle, we have three let's say buttons, informations. First one is the config, creation and release. So when we are in the process of making new room, selecting, loading, continuing, this is the first step actually of the creator. Second one is the creation, which we are already right now, and third one will be the release. So it's will be visible when we actually want to publish something on the workshop. On the right side, there's an inspector showcasing the current transform of the selected object. For example, this wall, what's position, what's the rotation, what's the scale. So if you change it, it changes actually on the interface. Those transform, position, rotation, scale can be also changed manually. So for example, if I rotate the wall somehow or make some various modification, I can reset it by just clicking on the field and pressing some values, filling up with the values will be changed as well if you want to be very, very specific with the placing of the items on the scene. So for example, if I want to put this metal floor, metal squares, just right, matching the corners, like without any empty spaces, I can put it here, press the move key, move it, and I can also check the values of this. For example, I want to have it just here, to be placed just here. So for example, this one is y have 0, -10, -550. So y, let's reset to 0. Z, let's move it to -10. And I know that this one is 5 by 5, so every cell is 1 meter. So let's put -55. So this is for the inspector details. Some of the elements have some special features, and also here you can make some things like duplicate or delete. You have two buttons, duplicate and delete. So for example, if I select those walls, I can delete them completely, or I can also press delete on the keyboard. We will do the same. I have duplicate. So for example, if I select the prop, I can hit duplicate and move it. -15. I can also click two selections with Shift key and press duplicate here, or Ctrl plus D, which is also the function for the duplicate here. Right. For example, some other objects like lights. We have some point lights. Let's try it. We have toggle the light, which this will be visible in the game. So for example, if you want to not have the light, we can also delay the light, but also toggle it here. Or some, for example, museum stands and also posters have functions dedicated only with them, that is showcasing some changing the layout of the tanks, for example, or the vehicles. You can do it by selecting that particular prop and have options here. Another topic will be the shortcuts, because I'm already shown some shortcuts that I'm using or explained. There's some more even. So for example, if I want to make a selection, I can press the Q button, which is for the select, I can have the move. For example, let's say I select this floor, press W, which is move tool. I can press E, which is rotate, and R, which is scale. If I have more objects selected, I can also, while pressing T for direct, again, I can see the rect of it. So for example, I can, if you see those small corners, small let's say edges of the square, I can click it, hold it, and for example change the scale while have those objects selected. It can be more than two, but it need to be at least two objects. What else? Let's move it somewhere here. I can change the pivot mode from center to pivot, from the pivot of the object. So for example, if you can see, I'm selecting the one on the right, and then with pressing the shift key, left shift key, I'm selecting the second one, and the last object selected is the pivot. But if I want to, for example, somehow manipulate them from different pivot, I can change it by pressing the this button, which is the Z key, Z, and now it's on the center of those objects. For example, also if you select something, rotate, so it has some fancy, rotation, and if you can see, the pivot is set locally to that object, but I can change the rotation mode from local to global by pressing X, or just selecting the button. Yeah, so you can see that right now I have the pivot set to global or to local if I want to. So yeah, I can reset everything. 0, 0, 0. It's not possible to change the values when you have more than one object selected, so it's not possible right now. If you want to know. Okay, so shortcuts are, I think, covered. Alright, so let's make a quick demonstration of how to make some kind of room. We'll make a recreation of that small tiny desk. I will look for the desk, which will be somewhere in the structures, others, maybe props. Let's say desk 2. Yeah, that was the desk 2. Okay, let's move the player spawn as well. I want to have it here. Maybe even computer, let's go there. So yeah, those tools are very similar to Unity. It's basically based on Unity controls, so if you are interested how to make such stuff in the actual editor, is very familiar, very similar. Nope. And again. Yep, so it's working nicely. Sometimes if you don't have the pivot visible, you might need to double check and select again something on the scene. Okay, we have it, and let's try to move some slots. For example, let's move this slot, I think it's number 1, because we had default tiger here. Yeah. Don't mind missing the wheels, it will be recalculate every time you move something. It will be make some optimization in the background. Let's change the scale 0.01 or maybe 5, 0.05 and also 0.05. I'll just make this for maybe 2, 3 tanks visible here this time. Okay, I will also try redo, I mean undo, rotate, W for move. It's move it just slightly below so the lines are not visible here. I don't want them to be visible. Okay, we have one tank, and maybe Let's go with mouse. Maybe we'll change the mouse actually to the mouse. Be fun. If you hit the that cube in the center, you will scale. We will manipulate all 3 axes in the same time. Yeah, let's move it. Let's scale it again. Okay, I think it's covering the mouse almost completely. Maybe to be much. Kinda bigger. You get the point. Okay, maybe another tank. Maybe Goliath. Would be fun to see. Oops, where's my camera? Okay, this part is a bit long. I think it will be. I think I will try to cut it. So if you don't mind, I will show you the final version of this. Okay, with the magic of the post-production, 3 slots have been placed. I will now place some walls behind it, stand and some posters. So let's put museum wall somewhere like that. Now let's click it. Maybe even make it a bit smaller, like a halfway. Okay. Alright, doesn't matter actually this value. Maybe -10. Control D, move it -12.5. Click Shift, Control D for duplicate. Let's put some museum stand just behind it. Maybe this one. Oopsie. Nope. Again. Alright. Or maybe just 90. Scale a bit. Move it here. So it's nicely standing. Like here. Or maybe let's do that. Control D, duplicate, rotate it, something like that. Okay, what we have Goliath. Goliath will be tank 27, I think. Yeah. And Tiger, let's do Tiger, tank 1. Let's make some space here. I want some posters. And last thing will be poster. Poster should be somewhere here. Customizable poster. Okay, here it is. Let's change rotation to 90. Let's change the move. Let's move it somewhere here, and let's find something. Now to Russian tanks. Okay, never mind. Let's have it. Okay, let's save. Let's save this room. And let's click publish. So to publish a ROM or an item, use Steam Workshop Uploader. The method of use and the program itself are located in the modding tools folder where the game is installed. Click the publish button to run the program and the folder with documentation in PDF format. So when you click the publish, you can not see it, but I will just, with the magic of the montage, make it possible. So yeah, when you hit the publish button, you should see the Steam Workshop Uploader. And yeah, let's go and publish, make a mod with this room and publish it. So first thing, launch the folder where game is installed. Usually it's somewhere on the C drive, but when you have somewhere else, the Steam library, go there. Go to Tank Mechanics Simulator. Go to Tank Mechanics Simulator data. Go to streaming assets. Go to museum rooms templates, and you can see this is our save that we made earlier here in the game. So I will copy it, and I have on my pulpit, on my desktop actually, sorry, I have prepared the folder. I will just copy paste it here. So I have the JSON file, which is the configuration, this is the save for this room, and I also have a texture which will be the icon on the Steam Workshop, so we can use a paint. Whatever image you will do, it will be fine. Just, you know, do your own graphics, do whatever you want. Put some text maybe in it, like whatever, Museum Creator Tutorial 2, whatever, something catchy. Can make nice colors, yeah, very good. Let's save it, close it. So you have files, we have image. Let's go to Steam Workshop Uploader, and now first of all need to type some title. So Museum Creator Tutorial 2. I will put something, I don't know, put something on the descriptions. Set upload directory, which will be C, my desktop, select Museum Creator Tutorial 2. The information will be that you have selected the folder. Let's select the preview image. For my case, for this case, will be this image. Information that this image has been selected. Set the visibility, for example, for public, for private, if you want to keep it private, or for friends only. I'll just now keep it as a private. For this demonstration, tags, this is very important. Museum room templates. If you want to do some other stuff to put on the workshop, just set the proper tag. But for this instance, we are using the museum room templates. Okay, that's all. And let's hit create item. So you can see there is some status going on, some uploading. Successfully submitted item to Steam. And this tool should automatically shows up the mod on Steam Workshop. We hope you find this tutorial useful. Let us give us some information in comments if you have any questions. Make sure to go to our Discord, and you can hit us directly there. So yeah, see you soon.